Dok, bakit ganon? Wala akong regla. O Dok, bakit ganon? Ang haba-haba ng regla ko, sobrang lakas. Kumbaga, konektado yung perimenopause dun sa pag-develop ng mga sintomas kasi nga bumababa yung estrogen level mo. Yung estrogen, magandang kasi yan hormone para ma-regulate niya yung mga cholesterol mo nga, ganyan, yung blood flow mo, and yung protection sa puso na binibigay niya. Most of the patients that I see sa clinic, ang dami. Bakit? Kasi nung pandemic, 'di ba? Naging sedentary yung lifestyle natin. Most of us pag nag-aaral, nasa computer lang, nakaupo the entire day. Tas ang nagiging hobby mo habang nasa computer ka, kumakain. 'Di ba? So, ang one of the kasi risk factors to develop PCOS is yung fat gain ng weight, usually on the obese side. So, kung mataas kasi yung fat mo, there is a conversion of the fat into estrogen. Yon. So, yun din yung dahilan kaya ang PCOS hindi rin nagre-regular yung menses. Kasi kumakapal yung lining ng matris niya sa loob dahil sa mataas na estrogen. Yun sa diet po, di ba pag in relation to menopause, di ba usually hindi niya napapansin pag medyo nasa 40 plus ka na, paakyat ka na ng 50, tumataba ka kahit na hindi ka kumakain. Di ba, no? Yan. Kasi usually, pag bumababa na yung estrogen content mo, nagkakaroon ka ng fat deposition, specifically dito sa area na to. So, yun yung one of the important things din, kaya yung estrogen importante. So, pag medyo nagkakaedad na tayo, kahit na nagda-diet, minsan hindi na siya effective. Pero we can still do that. Kailangan pa rin natin mag-exercise, kailangan pa rin natin kumain ng maayos na pagkain para more or less control natin yon. Yung activity natin kailangan hindi rin sedentary para maayos yung flow at saka yung katawan natin. Kasi kailangan naman yun din di ba? Para hindi ka mag-develop ng sakit sa puso at saka ng hypertension. Most of the time, ang konsulta sa aming mga obstetrician, yun ang unang dahilan. Dok, parang hindi na po ako nagregla ng 6 na buwan. Kaya sabi ni Dr. Cindy nga, most of the time pag mga nararamdaman na palpitation, hindi makatulog, mga ganyan, sa kanya ang diretso. Sa amin, hindi ganon Ang una talagang nilang sinasabi sa amin, Dok, bakit ganon? Wala akong regla. O Dok, bakit ganon? Ang haba-haba ng regla ko, sobrang lakas. Yon. So yun ang usual na focus ng treatment sa OB naman. Kaya ngayon nga, meron programa si doktora na dapat magkatulungan. Kasi kumbaga konektado yung perimenopause dun sa pag-develop ng mga sintomas na sinabi niya kanina. Kasi nga, bumababa yung estrogen level mo. Yung estrogen, magandang kasi yan hormone para ma-regulate niya yung mga cholesterol mo nga, ganyan, yung blood flow mo, and yung protection sa puso na binibigay niya.
Ito, meron akong phone-in questions. So, ang question po ay, since I don't have menstrual period due to cyclo and it's been 3 years, dumadaan din po ba kami sa perimenopause stage? And what should I do? I haven't consulted OB yet.
May I ask, cyclo, is it a hormone ba?
Cyclophosphamide. Okay. So, hindi po kayo nagkakaroon? That's one of the side effects or the complications of taking the cyclo. Yes. I hope you don't mind if I ask your age. Is that okay? Range lang po. So 40. So dapat regular talaga muna yung regla. Pero kasi, kung hindi po kayo nagre-regla because of the medication that you're taking, sana po ma-check lang through ultrasound probably just to see kung okay yung uterus, kung manipis yung lining. Kasi one of the things that you usually check mo pag maabot ka ng age ng 40 is yung lining ng matris mo, lalo na kung hindi regular ang regla. Kung makapal yon, kung kailangan i-biopsy para ma-rule out lang natin yung possibility na may ibang problema. Usually kasi pag 40 and above, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin sa pasyente, ay wala po yan, hormonal imbalance yan. Okay lang kung bata. Pwedeng hormonal yan. Pero pagdating ng 35 and above, kailangan mong i-check yan. You have to rule out other causes aside from hormonal. Siguro ultrasound po, para lang ma-check. Kahit na anong gamot, unless it's prescribed by the obstetrician, kailangan stop pag once you get pregnant. Unless there's a clearance from kahit naman po sinong doktor, sasabihin po nila sa inyo, pag pregnant, unless prescribed at kailangan, doon lang po siya ititake. Actually, kung surgically menopause, kung talagang may intention ka mag-start kasi ng HRT, immediately after the surgery, dapat yun Yeah, yung kasing oops, natatakot ako because of the possibility kasi yun endometrial, wala nang endometrial sa'yo kasi natanggal na yung uterus, oh. But for the breast, ang hormonal naman kasi, the longer, yung duration of use kasi yung tinitignan mo. Pag masyadong mahaba yung intake ng medications na ganyan, that's the time you increase the risk for breast cancer. It's actually a case-to-case basis. If the patient really needs the medication, wala kang choice kundi kailangan ibigay mo yan. Ang kailangan lang siguro is yung monitor. Andyan naman ang mammogram, di ba? You can always do that. You can have self-breast exam kung talagang kailangan mo ng hormonal replacement therapy.
So, I think, very important na sinabi niyo po. Dahil tapos na siya sa menopause. Hindi ko sinasabing lahat kayo tapos na ng menopause. Pero, meron talagang population na natapos na ang regla for a year. Yun nga, surgical. And yet, it still experience the same symptoms as perimenopause. Nangyayari yan. And paulit-ulit, pwedeng ma-extend 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Kaya malas lang, meron pa up to postmenopause. And you now have options. No? That's why importante check up. Now, yung sinasabi niyang hormonal therapy, marami kasing gamot for hormone replacement. But you have to choose the right drug which has benefit in terms of reducing vasomotor, but also improving osteoporosis, preventing osteoporosis, kasi isa rin yan concern, no? And the third is cardioprotective. Meron mga tama ka dementia kasi may mga patients who really went into early dementia because of menopause. So may mga gamot, very specific, that can help you with that, but the risk of breast cancer is low. That's why you have to consult sa doktor, ano yun. Kasi, yung mga previous mga hormonal therapy, they do have data on that. 10-year study yun eh. So talagang noon, ganun ang takot ng tao, ng mga doktor. But now, there are newer evidence for newer drugs which doesn't have that effect. But you really have to consult the physician and discuss this. So, statin is one of the miracle drug of the century. When it started being introduced in pati date alam ko po. I was in training. Yeah, I was in training then. That was 1995. I was a resident, first year resident, and we are admitting a lot of patients who had MI, heart attack. Ang gamot lang namin was aspirin. And then came in the 4S trial. Yun yung very first clinical trial for statin therapy. And we saw the greatest reduction on death if you give anti-cholesterol drug. And that time, we don't know the dose. The one that was given was the high dose, 80 milligrams of simvastatin. So we gave that. Most patients, of course, recovered. And then you have the advent of other clinical trials for statin, which is Rosu, you have Ator, etc. Now, it becomes a staple drug. Hindi ko mas staple. Lahat kayo naka-statin. Lahat ng pasyente. Even me takes statin. Doctoral takes statin. Dr. Judge takes statin. We've been taking it for 15 years. So statin is beneficial, but it depends on the dose. Sometimes, eto na nga different guidelines, different dosage. It changes every 3 years. So ibig sabihin ng guidelines, every time we go to a convention, whether it's the American Heart, kasi we based all our studies, our practice on guidelines from abroad and here in the Philippines. It's a good thing we do have a guidelines already in the Philippines. May Philippine guidelines for lipid treatment. There is a guideline to say that we have to take statin. Hindi nakalagay for life. For high risk, very high risk, moderate risk. Ano yung risk? Depende sa profile. You're elderly. When I say elderly, 55, menopause, family history if you do, okay? You have other comorbidities, hypertensive, diabetic, of that. Then you have to take statin indefinitely. Kaya nga for life. Now, side effects, 2 side effects common. 1, myopathy. Muscle pain. Masakit yung proximal. Kasi pag sinabi ko, may masakit, masakit po yung ganito ko, yung tuhod ko. That's not myopathy. Proximal. When you say proximal, ito lang. Ito. Legs, proximal. Malapit sa center ng body. Pag masakit ito, hindi. Masakit ang legs, hindi. Usually dito. Di maitaas, hirap maglakad. That's myopathy. That's a side effect of a statin. 2, elevations of SGPT-SUV. But, again, hindi lahat ng mataas ang SGPT dahil sa gamot. Kasi rin na laging tanong, doktora, kaya tumaas yan dahil sa gamot ko. Hindi, that's not true. You only withhold statin if it's more than 3 to 4 times elevated. So the normal is 35 times 4, that's 120. If your SGPT goes as high as 120, 150, then that's the time for you to discontinue. But if the elevation is just 2, 3, 4, 10, 15, no. Okay? That's why kailangan regular follow-up because we adjust the dose. May target. Hindi porket ang target ko, I'm not hypertensive, I'm not diabetic, but I'm menopausal. Oh, I'm menopausal. So my LDL should be less than 110. So kailangan mababa. So I take statin. Now, I repeated my cholesterol just last week. My LDL is 55. So I reduced my cholesterol to 5. Kasi nga, I reached my target already. Less than 110. So nandun. So I have to repeat again after 3 months of 5 para makita ko kung same dose ako. Kaya syempre, your food changes. Nagbabago ka ng kain. So dapat chinecheck mo yan. And then the doctor regulates anong dose bagay sa'yo. Isa't tao, different targets.